You're saying, Matt, that you watch the Falcons to keep you grounded.
Yeah, I watch the Falcons to keep me grounded because I'm so used to rooting for winning sports teams now, which was not the case as we're recording this, the day after the back-to-back national championship for our University of Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes, I have ordered a new pennant. My pennant streak of things over here. It'll take up like almost the whole screen at that point. So,
I think I'm gonna get a pennant. I don't know why the past 2 years the on-field championship shirt's ugly as hell. I'm like, damn it! Like,
well, last year I didn't really. I mean, obviously it's grown on me. It's taken a whole year for it to grow on me, and I've gotten to wear that shirt a lot in the past year. Um, but this year I thought was actually pretty good. I thought it actually worked out well with like the LA Hollywood theme, kind of like an old LA, old Hollywood.
yeah, I mean, I get what they're going for. I just don't like it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I understand, right? The comedy of coming from a wrestling background. You want the shirts should be like the event and be amazing. Um,
like I love this one. I got this one last year. It's got the national championship logo and everything. Sick 'em dogs. Everything I need. I've got a cat in my lap. Good. So
um, we did buy a bunch of merch. I have no idea when it will come in, but I did
yeah,
buy.
I keep looking and debating on what I want to get.
Yeah. The only reason why we bought so much stuff right like immediately was last year we went to buy some of the stuff like it was sold out and they weren't going to remake anymore.
Right. Yeah, they do that first run of stuff, and like it's fun. Like ordering stuff like last year for when the Braves won the World Series. I guess now 2 years ago. Like some of the stuff takes so long to come that it's like, oh, it's like Christmas. I forgot that I ordered this.
Yeah, and what have we not done? Oh, we haven't bought the newspaper yet or any of that stuff. And I still have the stuff from last year still sitting in boxes over here that I need to put up on that wall back there. Um, which is part of you know uh the busyness of everything just continues to roll on. Kind of like people's lives and their nutrition and fitness habits.
It's a never-ending process.
Yeah. So busy, 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 as it always is. Um, it's a new year. It's 2021. Um, this episode will come out after our part two of New Year's Eve resolution things. Um, Mostly because we did the second part of New Year's resolution things following up on my failed attempt at getting 900 because it's important to realize that you don't necessarily need a New Year's resolution, but you want to start with something small and achievable, something you can add in that's going to make it easier on your life. But I was listening to another gentleman talk earlier, and he said every week you only have 168 hours. So no matter what, we all have the same 168 hours in a week, 7 days. And you have to think about if you're going to add something in, that means you're probably taking something away. Um, and when it comes to nutrition fitness, there are a lot of ways that you can add things that aren't actually going to necessarily take away from something. Um, so, like we say on this podcast all the time, fruits, vegetables, and protein, you can add them in, not going to take away from anything. Um, but when thinking about preparing for a week, looking ahead, um, I think a lot of people get lost in the problem of how do I fit all of this into my busy life today?
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's yeah, like you said, you can't make time. Like there's a finite number of hours in a day and in a week, and yeah, like if you have it all occupied, you have it all occupied. In the story that you've either got to figure out a way to change the puzzle pieces. Like yeah, in an ideal world, is what I always tell people. Like ideal world, yeah, we'd all have 2 hours to dedicate to working out, a personal chef, and this would be easy. Like, but it's not.
Yeah, that's what's his name said. The guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, like yeah, that it's easy. That's all it takes. Yeah, like to stop eating this and to start doing that, and like yeah, to achieve a superhero physique. Like that's all you got to do.
Right. But that is all ridiculous. But I really wanted to go over some of the stuff. I sent it to Matt earlier. This lady who is also a quote unquote nutritionist. But she does have some good points
I was
here.
gonna say there's actually really good info in there and a lot of stuff that I tell the people I work with.
Yeah. So, I'm a registered dietitian, Matt's a certified health coach. Both of us are qualified to be able to help coach you through all of your nutrition and fitness decisions, especially the nutrition ones and especially the fitness ones, because that's our personal backgrounds. We can help you out a lot with some of the other holistic things, like our now no longer the least episode to listen to episode on sleep. We can help you out with mitigating some of those things. It's going to help out a lot in your recovery. But when it comes to thinking ahead and preparing for your week, when we're thinking about it, a lot of people get stuck on it's impossible. How do you do that? How do you make all of that food? How do you think ahead like that? Like that doesn't work. Or it's too expensive to eat that way, to have lean protein.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. Like it's so much easier to eat unhealthy. And if you don't put in any effort, yeah, it is. It's much cheaper to go run across the street to McDonald's right now than it is to go buy chicken breast. You've got to be smart about how you're shopping.
Yeah. And thanks to all of the endemic that we lived through, it's more easy now, I feel like, to be able to get like your groceries just delivered to you. You don't even have to necessarily go to the store. It's helpful if you do, but you don't have to. And so, but this lady, I'm not going to mention her name on here because I'm not going to. I don't know what her background is. I just don't know, like, I don't know enough about her to be able to say that I can say anything silly. But I saw this when I was searching just random nutrition stuff on Instagram, and she talks about thinking about meal prep in a different way. And I will say what she talks about here in this. I don't know if you understand how this is listed as like a singular tip. This is like 8 tips in one. But either way, what she talks about here are things that I do all the time. So when we make our dinner meals, we always have leftovers. And if you are cooking for one, you can make 2 portions. If you're like, I used to tell people, which is something I still recommend to people, I cook twice a week. When I'm cooking for myself, it was twice a week. When now I'm cooking for my wife and I and our 2 kids, or she's cooking for the 2 of us and our 2 kids, we still try to cook only twice a week. There's no point to have to try to make a new meal every single day. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
it can be difficult. Yeah, I used to do the twice a week. I do a little bit more often now, just because I have the time sometimes. I actually have gotten to enjoy cooking, which is weird. But yeah, you can easily prep and not have to do that whole like Sunday prep and have everything in your fridge with each bin in there. Like yeah, in an ideal world, that sounds fantastic. But I don't have 4 or 5 hours every Sunday to sit down and prep my meals for the week. So yeah, I cook something. Say tonight I'll fix dinner and I'll have at least lunch tomorrow, if not, lunch for a couple of days, and then turn around and keep doing it.
Yeah. And you also don't have to do the same meal every single day. Like we've talked about it plenty of times, like the rice thing. You can change, like, rice is a blank palette, just like chicken breast is pretty blank.
Chicken breast and ground turkey for me, like just cook up, a couple of pounds of that. Boom, you can stick it in anything, stick any kind of different sauce on it, any seasoning, you're good to go.
Yeah, and that's easily done. To be honest, people, I just don't understand it. It's like, this is so complicated. It's like, it's not really that complicated. If you put, if you had a regular pack of chicken breasts usually has about 6 chicken breasts in it. I'm not going to talk about the pounds, that's different, but usually about 6 chicken breasts in like a regular big pack, right? If you were um, cooking for one, you could butterfly all of those. So then that's 12. That's like 12 servings of chicken, right? So if you ended up parsing that out, that'd be like 12 meals that have chicken in it. And you could easily, if you put 2 of those breasts that are now butterflied, so that means there are 4 halves of chicken breasts in a singular bag, throw some oil and some seasoning in there, shake it up. That's 1. Do that for the other one. Shake it up. That's 2. Do another one. That's 3. Boom. There's 3 separate kinds of ways that your chicken's been prepared now for 12 different meals. It doesn't take a lot. But that is one of the things that they also mention on here is trying to do as many one pan recipes. So one of our favorite one pan recipes is doing exactly that with like Tex-Mex seasoning. Put the chicken breasts on the pan, cut up bell peppers and onions, throw it on the pan. It all goes in the oven, comes out of the oven, and boom, there we go. Now you have like chicken tacos if you want to pull it apart, or you could just have fajita chicken and just slice it. It's a tortillas. You're set. Like that's a whole meal.
Yep. Like I'll do similar stuff to that, or just like, on the stove top in the pan, just any sort of like variation of Asian food. It's always easy to chop it up, stick some peppers, onions, veggies, a little bit of soy sauce on top of it, season it, you're good to go. I'm a big fan of the crock pot too. Like crock pot's awesome. Just season the chicken, throw it in there, and walk away. Like
We don't utilize our crock pot often enough. I don't think. Same thing with our instant pot. Like we have an instant pot. I don't think we utilize it as frequently, but
I used
uh,
an Instant Pot for the first time a few weeks ago, and I found out that my fight or flight goes into full effect. That I try to fight something if it slightly startles me. Like when I was releasing the steam, and it released before I was ready. I literally reared back, ready to punch the Instant Pot. So,
uh,
uh, which was good news to me because I'm like, all right, if I'm in a situation where I feel threatened, I'm ready to fight. So anybody around me should feel safe. That Instant Pot was not going to get
you gotta be careful with that quick release, man. That
me.
steam will get you. I I always use like I generally like start tapping it with my finger, then I think better of it and end up using like a wooden spoon, to push it so that way I'm far enough away so that way that doesn't like steam up right in my face or burn my
So
hand.
yeah, I'm a slow learner. I was like, I kept on that way. Same thing where I'll sometimes just grab hot food out real quick out of something. I'm like, I can just do this with my hand. Ow, that burns, and then immediately repeat with like the next piece of chicken. Not that I don't have a million different spoons and utensils right there, but
Yeah.
slow
Did you
learner.
get the is yours just a stainless steel insert?
So yeah, I was actually borrowing one. My girlfriend brought it over. So yeah, it was just that. I think I need to get one now. I kind of liked it.
Yeah. They make a nonstick ceramic insert. Highly recommend.
Ooh,
It's like $20, totally worth it.
ooh.
Um yeah, I know. Just throwing out random stuff here. But we got one of those for I want to say we got it for my mom last year for Christmas, and they use that a lot. The downside with the stainless steel part that it comes with is it can you like easily set off the burn sensor,
Yeah.
like some small amount of fluid, or you can use that rack that comes with it, like it's meant for like steaming kind of stuff. You can put chicken on that; it won't burn. Um, so just a heads up. Yeah, but um, the next thing that she talks about in her list of tips is eating out and drinks and work functions. So this came up a lot with the clients that I was seeing around the holidays. Like this,
Yeah, that time of year is always fun.
like I'm going out with insert family member. I'm going out with work group. I'm going out with what was the other thing somebody had? Oh, they were traveling. I was thinking they were traveling. So what do I do? Um, the thing that I recommend to people, if you know what restaurant you're going to, um, You can probably look at a menu ahead of time, so you can give yourself like 3 options to choose. So that way you already know. You don't have to ask for the menu. You can put them in a note on your phone. You can write them down on a post-it or whatever. Just that way you have 3 items to choose from the menu of the place that you're going to. As far as if you don't know, like, what do you do when you don't know where you're going to, Matt?
I get there and I start weighing out the options and thinking of, okay, what's the healthiest thing that I can go for? And then sometimes, depending on where you go, there's nothing that's quote healthy. I know we hate saying that foods are healthy and unhealthy, but general population is going to say, oh, this is unhealthy. So that's when I start thinking about portion sizes. It's like, all right. So I don't need to order, all the best thing I can get is this, say, lasagna, because why would that be the healthiest thing? But like, okay, instead of the whole thing, let's cut it in half. Go ahead, stick half up in the box. Boom, there's my meal prep for the next day. Boom, we've managed to cut my calories in half. I'll get 2 delicious meals, save money, things like that. Figuring out ways you can fill up before the entree, like on healthier options of, getting the salad, dressing on the side, getting an extra side of veggies instead of pasta, things like that.
Yeah, those are plenty of options if you don't know where you're going. And I would always lean towards, uh, what lean protein sources are. Make sure you pick out a lean protein. So it'd probably be a chicken breast. They might have something that's like ground sirloin or top sirloin if it's beef related. They got pork tenderloin on there, but generally speaking, it's probably going to be some chicken breast dish on there, and that's going to have with a side of a salad or another non-starchy vegetable. Start there, pick that out. You're going to be
Yeah,
full.
pretty much every restaurant I've ever been to has some sort of grilled chicken dish.
Right, so that's going to be okay. But let's say it goes even further back, and you get there, group of your friends, group of your people, and they all say, "Where do you want to go for dinner?" What do you do?
Figure out the unhealthiest option we can.
Yeah, I will already have. I will already have an idea of what's around me. That's what I recommend to people.
Absolutely.
You know what city you're going to. You know where you're going to be. Pick out some restaurants ahead of time that you will one enjoy, and the other, you think your friends and family would enjoy if you're going out there with them. But then you're going to know that that's there. So then you already going to know what's available to you there. So if you have 2 or 3 restaurants that you might go to, you have all these different meals that you're already going to pick out. Like, plan that part ahead, which again, in 2023, it's not that difficult to do because we all have some access to an internet somewhere, and you can easily find restaurants.
Literally type restaurants near me.
Yeah, like,
That's my go-to on the road.
but if you are like the back-to-back national champion quarterback Stetson Bennett and you only have a flip phone, you might need to use a regular computer in the desktop.
This is true. I'm jealous of people who have that strategy. I want to detach. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, they have other smart, smart, quote unquote, smartphones that are really purposely dumbed down, so it doesn't have it doesn't have apps on it, but it has like a calculator and a like a map and a calculator like built.
Stuff that you would need, and that's it.
Yeah, like
The amount of crap I have on my phone that I don't need.
yeah. Sometimes I look through my phone with the amount of apps that are on it that's like not used, and I'll just start deleting stuff. But I actually do use like most everything's on my phone currently. So
Like I don't need to. Talking about making more time, cutting stuff out.
yeah. So then the next thing, oh, and alcohol. We've talked about before. Alcohol, water, alcohol, water, alcohol, water. Just go back and forth. That's going to save you a bunch of calories, and also will likely make you not get incredibly inebriated. Yeah. But just go back and forth so that way you're saving yourself the calories on there. Don't just try to go drink water, drink water. That's gonna save you the hangover later.
Absolutely. That's why I rarely get hangovers. I like to stay plenty hydrated. Funny how that works.
Um, And then goes on to talk about stress and emotional eating and snacking. Um, one of the I don't necessarily agree with a lot of these things on here, but um, people always have um, some kind of like stress related food that they go to. Um, like for me, if I'm stressed out, I have the opposite effect where I just become like anorexic in a way. We're just not hungry. It's just like I got to get something done. I don't want to eat. I'm just gonna power through this and not eat anything. That's not the smart way to go. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
and I never have that issue. There's been one time in my life that stress caused me to not feel hungry, and it was the weirdest thing.
Um, but outside of that, like if it's available, I'm probably gonna have like I don't know, some kind of chocolate candy.
Yeah, it's my go-to. Like, give me Reese's peanut butter cups. Like any combination of chocolate and peanut butter, that's always a quick and easy fix. And then I like typical like comfort meals and stuff too, like cheese, pasta, creamy sauces, like, and then wings, burgers, things like that, the usual fare.
Right. So if that's you and you jump to something to eat when you're stressed out, highly recommend single meal or single snack, and then go back to whatever plan it is. If you're trying to do something where you have a specific goal in mind with your nutrition and fitness, just do something like you can have a small snack that's not going to interfere with anything. You can have a singular meal, it's probably not going to detract from anything, and just get back on your regular plan.
And even before that, what I typically suggest is just hitting pause for a second, having a glass of water, and going, okay, is this what I really want right now? And sometimes the answer is no. Like, I'm like, nah, I really don't want that peanut butter cup. I'd rather have something else. Or if I have that glass of water, stop and go, I want that peanut butter cup. I'm gonna have the damn peanut butter cup. And then, like you said, it's the one thing, and then back at it, not beating myself up about it. Back to the goals. It's a temporary speed bump.
Yeah, and it's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. The number of times that we talk to clients and they say, "Oh, I ate really bad this week. It was really unhealthy." It's okay. We all go through that phase. There's nobody that's 100% perfect all the time, right? So it's understandable that you're going to have some hiccup in there where, you know, you didn't eat the way that you had planned on eating. It just kind of went awry for that one time. It's okay. Get back on it. Like the habit forming is a long game. It's not like this one thing isn't going to throw you off everything. Um, and then skip the next one. That's like a specific clientele. And then the last thing that they talk about is um, the food costs of planning ahead. Look for convenience items. I tell people that all the time. You can use frozen foods. You can use foods that are canned, or it doesn't have to be stuff that's completely raw. Like you can um, get stuff that is already mildly prepared. Like the frozen vegetables are great. You throw them in the microwave to heat them
Oh
up.
yeah, the steam and bag ones are lifesavers. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then if it's in a can, open the can, use a colander, pour the vegetables into the colander so that way the liquid comes off, rinse them. That knocks off much of the stuff that it was stored in. And boom, now you're closer to having just regular raw vegetable. But it's already like partially cooked, so you don't even all you gotta do is just warm it up. Um, and especially thinking about that with preparing meals ahead for a week, you could going backwards to our chicken and rice model. Um, one of my favorite go-to green things is broccoli. So you can get frozen broccoli. I don't necessarily like it all the time from the frozen, um, but also frozen peas. If you have peas, you can drop it in the chicken and rice. Don't even have to don't
Yep.
warm them up ahead of time. Just drop
Yep.
it
Just right there.
in. And when you go to reheat it, it's all gonna get warmed up. And the little bit of hydration that's available in those frozen peas is gonna help hydrate the rest of your food so your chicken and your rice doesn't get dried out when you warm it up. So quick, simple tip.
Yep. Frozen peas are a must and a staple of mine. Like my freezer's full of them right now.
Yeah, and it's a good source of another non-starchy vegetable for you, so it's not gonna hinder any of your goals there, and also gonna give you plenty of vitamins and minerals that are really good for you. But that's really all I had for this week. Thinking ahead, like we're all really busy, trying to make all of these things fit in our goals. You can plan all this stuff out and just follow these few tips that we talked about in here, and that's going to help thinking ahead. So that way you don't have to necessarily spend the 5 hours on a day in the week making all of your meals. Like you can do quick things like the um, chicken fajita thing I mentioned earlier. That's a 20-minute recipe. Like start to finish, 20 minutes.
Yeah, like talking about the crock pot, like not even Instapot, just the crock pot. Boom, stick it in there beginning of the day. 6 hours later, I've got shredded chicken. I get the boiling bag rice. 10 minutes of that. 5 minutes in the microwave with the steamed veggies. Throw it together. Yeah, I've spent 15 minutes of actual time.
Right. Yeah. And so that's multiple meals, right? You can store all those things, have them ahead of time, and that sets you up for the week, helps you get you closer to your goals. If you have questions about reaching your goals with nutrition and fitness, head on over to franchisenutritionandfitness.com and sign up for your free meet and greet. We can talk about ways to make all these things incorporated into your life. So that way it's easy for you to go about your day and reach all of your nutrition and fitness goals. But those of you listen out there, what is your favorite one pot meal? What's your favorite one pot meal, Matt?
Like I think, yeah, kind of like just teriyaki chicken. Boom, teriyaki chicken. Throw the rice in. Throw the peas in. Some other veggies. Boom, you're done. One little skillet.
Yeah. One of our favorite things to do is it's ground sausage, like a lean ground as lean as you can get ground sausage, um, pasta and peas and chopped broccoli.
Easy peasy, and you can season that any way you want. And it's a different meal every time.
Brown it up, discard, pasta goes in, fluid goes in, boom, it's all cooked. It's all done. But either way, you guys out there, what's your favorite one pot meal? Let us know. Hit us up on all the social media. We're out there at franchisenutritionandfitness.com, franchise nutrition and fitness on social media. Like we say every week, maximize every bite.
Maximize every rep.